An isolated Puritan family in 1630s New England becomes unraveled by the forces of witchcraft and possession. This week's movie is The Witch.
Hello?
Oh, my dark pagan god.
I swear, at some point I'm going to make a compilation of just all of the oh my gods of these.
This movie proves that sometimes you don't have to go out into the world to find the witch. Sometimes the witch is in you.
It's just within you.
We watched the VVitch. VVitch.
The VVitch.
That's what it's called, right? VVitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we did watch The Witch. It was 2015 when it was done. Directed by Robert Eggers. His first movie.
Wow.
Actually. For those who don't know, he also directed The Lighthouse. And recently, Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Also The Northman with Bjork.
With Bjork and everyone that was in this movie as well.
Pretty much, yeah. And this movie is starring Anya Taylor-Joy in her first movie as well. Ralph Ineson, who's also in Nosferatu and The Northman, and The First Omen, actually, too. And Kate Dickie, who's been in a lot of movies. Prometheus, I think she was also in The Northman, you said?
Yeah, they all were.
Yeah. Out of these actors, I will say, in my opinion, I know he's been in a few things, but he's always smaller parts. I just think Ralph Ineson is kind of a underrated actor.
He's good.
Kind of like the lead in Late Night with the Devil. I just feel like they're underrated actors because they're both very good at what they do, and I feel like they could be in more upfront roles or starring roles.
Yeah. And as Stephen pointed out during the movie, he does look like Shane Madej a bit, so that really threw me off for the rest of the movie. What did she say? Hey, witch, what's up? It's your boy.
Hey, witch, it's me, your boy.
It's me, your boy. So this was a movie about Trump's America, and
Jesus,
and what we will be looking forward to in the next few years.
Every woman's a witch.
Yeah, we're all witches. And we all live in exile in the forest.
Just know that on this podcast, we fully support any witches, whether they be male, female, or trans.
Thank you.
Or non-binary.
I mean, this country was founded by crazy cultists called the Puritans.
Yeah.
They were insane.
They were crazy.
They were insane. They were too crazy for England.
I mean,
so
God.
They shipped them out. Honestly,
like,
they didn't leave because they wanted it. No, they shipped them
They
out.
were like, please get out.
They were like, get the hell out of here.
It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things too. When you read stories or watch movies about that time period, and it's like, you picked up a pebble. Well, you're going to hell.
Yeah,
you're the devil.
You're the witch. You're a witch.
Yeah. I literally just took a step and accidentally stepped on the crack of a piece of wood or something. If you're the devil, you stepped on a crack. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Everything was sin.
Yeah, everything.
Except for the person claiming that you're a sinner who decided to kill you. They weren't sinning.
No.
Just you.
Yeah.
Always the other people. It's projection. I think it's just projection.
It is. No, it really is, because the hypocrisy of them, the father of this family wanting to leave because he thought that the Puritans were too opulent.
Yeah. He literally says... He literally is getting... he gets mad at them because he believes they're not Christian.
Yeah.
Or not real Christians. He says they're false Christians.
Yeah.
They're really not. None of them are. But it's he mentions it later in the movie, too, when he's like, I don't need to go back with their silver cups and their whatever. And it's it was too vanity for him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Well, Catholicism is drag.
Yeah. Catholicism itself is
drag
high drag.
And, jewels and
Christianity's low drag.
Yeah, Protestantism is like, that's not even drag. That's like karaoke at a horrible straight bar. That's what that is.
Yeah, but then you go to the Vatican and it's drag.
Drag. Opulence.
You proclaim everything. I would like just a sec. So this is an A24 movie.
What?
As we know, have seen a surge in A24 movies over the past few years.
There's a lot of them. Jesus.
And almost all of them very good. Occasional misses, according to some people. I've heard. Well, again, I haven't seen some of them.
Well, there's so many.
There's so many, which is great because I know Honora just won Best Picture, and that's A24.
Yeah. I'm mad about Demi winning.
I'm a little mad about Demi Moore not winning.
I haven't seen Honora, so I can't.
I still love the meme that her winning over her was basically the plot of The Substance.
Yeah.
But Honora was really good. Main actress really good. But the director talks about in one of the award shows, he mentions like, we need to protect small studios and independent filmmakers because a lot of independent filmmakers aren't just independent because they can't break it into big movies. It's because they want to stay as independent filmmakers.
Yeah.
Because studios like A24 will greenlight movies that like Warner Brothers won't.
Yeah.
Like I have this really crazy idea for a movie and it could be good, but I need help with it.
Yeah.
But it's like Warner Brothers isn't going to do that unless they know it's going to make money. They're not going to do that.
No.
And yet studios like A24 are like, yeah, bring the weird. Like bring whatever idea you have. Let's do it. And like see how it's done. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially because they're becoming a little bit bigger in the sense that they obviously are making more money to be able to help more people.
Yeah.
But they're staying in that mindset of like, bring us movies. Like we want to make them. Because like some of them are missing. I mean, we've had really good ones come from them, like Moonlight, Honora, and The Witch, and other movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw The Brutalist. Do you think a Warner Brothers studio is going to greenlight a more independent movie that's 3 hours and 56 minutes long?
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
No, I mean it was a good movie. Did I think it did need to be that long? No, it did not need to be that long.
That's too long. That sounds so.
But it was made for under $10 million, which is insane.
Not much for a movie.
No.
Yeah.
Especially with like an actor like Adrian Brody, who is a pretty big actor, and Guy Pearce, who also is a pretty big actor.
Yeah.
And it's a 3 hour and 50-something minute movie.
Yeah.
That's cheap for that level of, especially with the visuals they had and the practical effects and everything. And just the set design they would need to do that time period.
Yeah.
That's not that much money for a movie. That's crazy.
No.
And I know it probably made more than that.
Yeah.
On release, but I just wanted to bring this up because I think it's really important to support studios like this who are actually supporting artists and actually support filmmakers.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember which studio did The Substance.
I don't know.
But I know Neon is another one of these studios that does this.
I think it was them, wasn't it?
I think it was Neon.
Yeah.
A24 and Neon are two studios that really care about the filmmakers they hire to make movies.
Yeah.
So I think it's just to be preachy. But I think it's a good thing to support studios like A24 and Neon because they actually care about their artists and they care about filmmakers.
Yeah.
A24 was actually one of the first studios to accept the terms during the strike, the actors and writer strikes, about not using AI and everything. Immediately they were like, done. While Disney's fighting everybody on it because they just want to save a buck, even though they're worth like billions of dollars.
Yeah, well, that's why they're still worth billions of dollars.
Yeah,
because they're horrible.
Because they're. It's like I'm not saying filmmakers that work with them or some like all the movies underneath them are bad, but it's just the corporate side of that is terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. A24 to me is an amazing studio. I know they haven't had like all amazing movies, but the movies they have released have been at least well made. And
from what I've seen,
it's just great to see them support artists and actually support filmmakers.
I think it's important to support the filmmakers that made things for, let's say, $100 too.
Oh,
because those are some of my absolute favorite movies. John Waters' early movies that were made with no budget whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
with just things that were around and things he could borrow is amazing.
Or just even people who take like just a chance on stuff. Like, I mean, Paranormal Activity went off the deep end at some point.
Yeah.
But like the first movie was literally filmed in the director's house.
Yeah.
The two actors in it were hired and only made $500 for that movie. They later renegotiated after the movie made over like $300 million at the box office.
Yeah.
But it was made with like, I think $15,000. Like it was made with like nothing.
Yeah.
And that was just to pay the crew.
That's
and pay
still
the
a lot of money to me.
To me, that's a lot of money.
It's just funny to me because it's like I but then there are truly filmmakers that made movies with nothing.
With nothing.
Like John Waters, like some what movie am I trying? Vegas in Space. I mean, if you haven't seen Vegas in Space, it is one of the seminal drag queen movies of all time. And the privilege that I actually know Miss X, that was one of the
That's amazing.
drag queens that made that movie. We share the same last name too, which is crazy. It's just amazing. But anyway,
well, because even movies like Evil Dead, when Sam Raimi and all them made that movie, they were college students.
Yeah,
and they made that movie.
Yeah,
they were kind of just winging it.
Totally.
Which is amazing. And to me, that's more inspirational. I mean, a lot of people get inspiration from like Star Wars and stuff, and I think Evil Dead and stuff is also very inspirational because
that's more inspirational to me. Yeah.
I mean, like they were doing shots in the woods by strapping a camera to a 2x4 and just moving it through the woods and shit. Like I don't know. It's just horror has also been that genre where you can do that for very cheap and still make something really good.
Yeah.
And I think that's very influential of the genre and it doesn't get recognized as much as it should, especially at award shows. I mean, I'm glad The Substance got recognized. Very big.
Yeah.
Nosferatu also got recognized and everything, and you have them now. I mean, I think Nosferatu should have been nominated for Best Picture.
Did it win anything?
I can't remember.
It should have. I know that. I almost said The Wiz.
Wicked.
Wicked. I still haven't seen it. I just don't care about it. Sorry, I just don't. But I think it won costume design. But truly, I mean, Nosferatu should have fucking won costume design.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Astounding, period. Yeah. Come on. Anyway.
But yeah, I digress. I just think it's really good to support studios like that because they actually support the artists making these movies.
Yeah.
And care about ideas.
Yeah. I will say this movie was very my aesthetic. That was the first thing that came up. It's very dark. It's very gothy looking.
It was like 5 minutes in and you were like, this is me.
Yeah. I feel like his movies all have the same palette that I've seen so far.
The color palette?
Yeah, the color palette is all the same, which I love.
Yeah.
It's like the dark earthy colors and like blue black.
Yeah, it's like those like weird shades of blue gray, like all of the shades of gray.
Love it.
And like even when you hit very black, it still kind of just feels like a shade of like gray. Because he did it for this Nosferatu. I mean, The Lighthouse was in black and white, so like everything was still just like whole movie.
Still haven't seen that yet.
Very good.
The forest also. This is the first thing I saw too, was the forest. It was supposed to look very menacing and dark, but to me it looked relaxing.
Right.
I was like, I want to go there.
I'm that type of person who's like, I want to walk into that.
I know. I was like, I just want to go in there and become a witch. And
my first thought, when it because you see it from the outside, and from the outside it looks really cool, but when you're inside of it and you see all the trees, all I sat there thinking was like, I want to take pictures.
I know, it was even more beautiful. I was like, ooh.
I want to take pictures in this forest so bad.
Yeah.
And I think in this one he used a lot of natural lighting too, which amazing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing like light by candlelight and flame and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I just feel like it creates that added weird shadow effect of like messing with the shadows and like making things seem more
Totally.
like unreal.
And movie lighting just immediately seems unnatural.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look great. If they had have added any more light than what was coming from the light source, the candles, it would have looked odd.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen that obviously, and
Yeah.
things, so.
Well, in this was his first movie. You see it in later movies, but they were doing something on him after Nosferatu, and it's like he's not a huge fan of cutting. In this one, you see multiple cuts.
Yeah.
But in movies like Nosferatu, instead of like, oh, we're filming this scene and then I'm going to cut to this actor in the background. He instead has like Willem Dafoe stays in the foreground and then he moves to the background and it sets up another shot, but it's all in the same shot.
Yeah.
And he stays on things a little bit longer.
I like that.
Because he just doesn't like to cut things. So he has the camera or the actors move into a second frame all while it's still filming.
It's very like a play
yes.
or something,
yeah,
which I like.
Love it.
Yeah.
I just think that's a cool way to do things instead of just constantly chopping things up in cuts. It makes you stay in that moment a little longer. It makes you feel the world a little bit longer when you're like in those moments.
Yeah. It kind of goes along with this philosophy of not wanting to put modern things in his movies as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because it kind of makes you pay attention to things in a less modern way where you really have to sit with things, and be patient.
Well, because they keep talking about him doing like another or a sequel to The Labyrinth, which I'm still like weird about.
I'm very on the fence about those,
just because of David Bowie not being so.
If he makes it super dark, then I'm down.
Oh, 100%.
If they turn it completely from like this like musical kids movie to like dark, then I'm like, I'm down.
And there better be fucking puppets, or I'm gonna be mad about it.
There must be puppets.
Like, you better get the Jim Henson Company, whoever's left, to come over and do this.
Yes.
And I think we were talking about how one of his movies they were talking about is supposed to be a werewolf movie. I think set around the time of the witch.
I think it's set earlier.
Earlier.
I think it's set earlier in England because it's in Middle English. I think it's supposed to be This is what they're discussing. I don't know if it's going to actually be this way, but it was supposed to be in Middle English with subtitles.
Which is crazy, because Middle English you cannot understand.
No, not at all.
Like,
no.
I don't know how they understood each other, first of all.
One that April with her sure suitor. What is it? The drought of March hath pierced to the root. I can't remember.
It's so much.
That's from the Canterbury Tales. It's the prologue.
That's insane.
It sounds insane.
Yeah, that would need to be subtitled.
Yeah,
because nobody this generation's gonna understand what's going on.
I can't understand. I mean, it's Middle English is something you can kind of understand.
You pick up a word here or there.
You can pick up a word here or there.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I can't remember if this is supposed to be in Old English or Middle English. I think it's supposed to be in Old English.
Might be Old English.
Now that I'm thinking about it, which is completely unrecognizable from English. So,
okay.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know any Old English.
Ye Old English.
That's like what Beowulf was written in. It's like,
oh god,
completely another language.
Imagine being the person who had to translate that. But yeah, he's just not a fan of doing modern stuff. I mean, he said in an interview he'd rather die than make a movie with cell phones and modern cars and stuff, which I'm fine with. Nobody,
I'm down for that.
Like, this is folk horror. Like, The Witch is folktale horror. Like, nobody really does that.
I thought you said folk horror, and I'm like, what the hell is folk horror? Okay, folk.
It's fake core.
Folk horror.
Folk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like folktale horror, and a lot of like nobody really does that.
Yeah.
So you get movies like The Crucible and stuff, but it's like it's not really horror.
Nah.
This is like actual horror set in like folklore times of like, of ye old
folklore times. That's the scientific name for that period. Ye old folklore times. Yes.
It's like BC or 80, but it's ye old folklore times.
Yeah, so this family gets kind of exiled in a way, banished into the middle of nowhere. And the kids, they all go crazy, basically. I think this is all of them going crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And, of course, there's a witch in the forest.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, even without the witch, I mean, you could just say it's a movie about isolation.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
It's like The Shining. It's like isolation, people being stuck together for a long time in a small area. Even if it's in a big area, it's empty. It's just you and your family.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that there's a witch in the woods stealing your kids.
Yeah. I like if there was even more kind of like not. I did like seeing the witch, especially like when she was like rubbing the baby blood all over her body. Oh yeah, my new skincare routine.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that they didn't show her face really. They just like showed what she was butt, doing. And, yeah. A lot of witch ass.
There was a lot of witch ass in the movie. But that's like the warning at the beginning of it. Yeah. Witch ass.
Rated R for witch ass.
But even like if there was less of like even showing the witch at all, it could have been a little bit more like psychological then, where it's like you don't know whether like someone in the family is killing everyone, you know.
And I had seen this movie before, but it was a long time ago, so I forgot that they actually did show her.
Yeah.
Because I thought I remembered them not showing her like at all.
Yeah.
I did like because they didn't show her face when she was like older and stuff, and she's rubbing the blood on her and everything. But they did show her when she was young.
They showed her older face later.
Oh yes, yeah, a little bit later.
Yeah.
But they showed her when she was young, and I liked that only because it's like you're seeing the way she wants you to view her.
Well, yeah, because she rubbed that baby blood on her, so she's like, "I'm young."
Yeah, she's like, I want you to see me. So it was like only when she wanted you to see her is when we actually saw her face and everything.
And I mean, I love that. Yeah,
the whole house.
When she came out of the house, I was like, oh, I love
the
her.
red cape.
I was like, I'm rooting for her. You know,
she's that bitch.
She is.
She's like, get your baby blood, honey.
This family all, shares this little tiny house in the middle of nowhere. Could you imagine sharing one room with your family at all times?
Oh my god. I mean, the kids were sleeping up in the attic, but then the parents were downstairs, and all they had to cover where their bed was.
It was pretty much one room,
I'm like, Jesus.
Ugh.
It's like you built the house. You couldn't have just like added on an addition to it. You got plenty of wood.
That's true. He did have tons of wood because he was cutting wood
chopping wood.
Chopping wood. That was like the only stress reliever of the time, I guess.
I mean, you can't have sex other than having children because that's against Christian values.
Plus, there's no privacy.
Plus, there's no privacy. But I just love that the first time we see him chopping wood is just him only wearing a towel. That's why I wrote log chopping thirst trap circa 1630. Because honestly, Ralph Ineson.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Very in shape.
I think it's wiry. Yeah.
It's pretty in shape.
I don't know whether Puritans could go around even outside without their shirt off. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they were just around their family, so maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. I think it might matter.
It might.
They're crazy.
Well, and the mom asked the daughter to bathe them and everything, and I was just like, God, I totally forgot, like, just how this was back then.
Creepy.
Well, it's funny because, like, they push women to, like, the cooking and the watching the kids and, like, doing all this stuff, but it's like, I'm sitting there thinking, watching this, I'm like, if none of these women were around, this guy would have fallen apart at some point. They're holding the whole shit together.
Oh, yeah.
They disregarded women so much, and it's like, if they were gone, though, you would know how to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. The women in this movie, too, were very, like, rebellious towards him, too. Like, his wife, like, even, like, hitting him at one point.
Which you can tell she regretted instantly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because, I mean...
But also, he felt like the kind of person, even for back then, that was a little more liberal about.
Yeah, I don't know if those people existed back then, but
I don't know. Maybe there was like a couple.
Was there anyone with a conscience back then? I doubt it. But yeah.
I mean, that's literally. I literally just wrote religion. ... I mean, because that was just.
Yeah, I don't get me started.
Yeah, don't. You want to get me started on my problems with the church?
Yeah, don't get me started.
Like my family, not me. Really, I mean, I'm open-minded. I think people should be able to believe whatever they want to, whatever.
Yeah.
One of my cousins is a full-on atheist. I just don't identify it, but my family's Catholic.
Yeah.
Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
So other than Irish Catholic that deals with a lot of guilt, Roman Catholic is kind of like,
True.
You want to read the Bible? You don't? Whatever. I don't care.
That is
they kind of just don't give a shit.
I don't care. You want some pizza? you want some spaghetti? I like the music in this too. On a different note.
Oh, very good.
Because it's super dissonant and unsettling.
Yeah.
It's like not music to like it's not pretty.
And it would come in at like it would come in and make a scene way more just tense than
yeah, really dramatic, loud, dissonant, unsettling music, which I liked.
No, I love it. It just all of it as a package together. Costumes, the house, the coloring, the music, it just worked so well all together.
It did. Yeah.
In making you feel like this weird sense of isolation.
Mm-hmm.
an encroaching threat.
Yeah.
And just overall, like, the mindset of these people.
Yeah. The strange religious fervor.
Oh, that's so much.
I love goats.
Black Phillip.
So cute, but...
He's adorable.
Adorable.
I will say. Evil.
Evil.
But adorable.
And the actual goat is evil.
Yeah, I wrote that because I had to make a note about it because I remember seeing videos of it a long time ago that the goat in the movie that does play back Black Phillip was retired after this movie. He actually lives on a farm now somewhere.
Still?
I don't know if still.
I don't know.
Because it was made in 2015, but they said on set that he was ornery and kind of an asshole and would like ram people, and I think he injured a couple of cast members and maybe a couple of crew members or something. Like, he was just kind of an asshole.
Most male goats are assholes, though.
I mean, it's just like, well, then you have scenes where like the kids are alone with him inside like the small area, and I'm like, what happened there?
I know, right?
Because he apparently was not the best actor because he was just he was the most diva.
Yeah,
on the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if he's still alive or not, but he was said to have been retired to, it was like some family goat farm.
Somewhere upstate.
Somewhere upstate, in quotes, gun in the back.
Somewhere upstate.
Somewhere upstate.
He's living happily on a farm.
Happily on a farm, chasing other goats.
Oh, this movie's other theme is incest, I feel. There was a lot of
you feel bad for the kid because there's not like any room for him to actually grow as a normal person because there's nobody with them.
Well, yeah, there's no one else around.
It's just your family.
It's just your sister and her boobs.
Because she's developing and becoming a woman, and like you don't know how to handle that because you're also becoming older and a man, and you don't have anybody else around you. So it's like, it's weird.
Yeah.
But it's like sad at the same time.
Oh, it's very sad because, also anything that you are feeling is evil, so...
Oh, yeah.
There's that, too.
She's about to become a woman, which means she's probably going to start bleeding soon, so that's also a sin.
Well, yeah, she has...
If we learned anything from Carrie and her mother...
It's all sin. All of it.
Yeah.
Everything.
If you learned anything from Carrie's mother, your first period is a sin.
Yeah. We can learn much from
Carrie's mother.
The family all had different accents too, which I thought was funny.
Oh yeah.
They they all kind of tried to do the same accent, but like I could tell that they were all from different places for sure. There was like some Irish, there was some
I feel like when you're getting into a character and then you're having moments of like intensity where you're like yelling and stuff, it's gonna come out.
Oh totally. Yeah.
At some point you are gonna come out in that character. I still felt like it worked, and I felt like the kids handled the language very well.
Yeah.
Considering it is like, I don't know what that would be considered because it's not Old or Middle English.
No, it is modern English.
Modern
but
English. It's
an older form of modern
English. Would you
English.
say almost Shakespearean modern English or like?
Yeah.
Right.
I think, because that would be around the same time, right? Yeah.
1600s.
Because this was supposed to be 15 or 1600s, right?
1630s.
1630s.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would be yeah. I don't remember.
It seemed like it probably would have developed.
I don't remember when Shakespeare was. I do not remember.
I can't remember.
It's Elizabethan England, but I have no idea.
Elizabethan.
Talk about something because I'm gonna look it up.
No, I thought they handled it very well, especially the little kids. Who's like, it's not. Back then, they just spoke like that. But when you're going back and trying to speak that way, it's not easy to like pick that up and just do it. And I felt like the kids did a good job because the adults I could see as trained actors being able to do that very well, but it's cool that the kids were able to do that really well.
Totally. And it didn't really matter because no one knows really what Americans sounded like at that time. They kind of do.
I think I'm remembering too.
They kind of do.
Yeah, I think I'm remembering too. A lot of people criticized the actor who played the young boy in it for his performance, and I thought he did a great job.
He did a perfectly fine job.
I don't know why people decide to like criticize child actors. He did a very good job.
Why did they have to? Why would you criticize a child actor?
I don't know. It's like The Conjuring when there were like Faye Fredericks who's playing like a 10-year-old, and they're like, she was god awful. She's a terrible actor. I'm like, she's 9. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, there are much worse child.
I'm like, she's playing a kid, and she's being a kid. Like, I don't understand.
Seriously,
I don't understand. You got the year on that?
So Shakespeare lived from 15. as far as the Shakespeare that who may not have even existed as one person, but 1564 to 1616. So it would have been. So
this would have been after Shakespeare.
It would have been a little after Shakespeare,
which means that language would have developed.
Yeah, it would have been kind of the same.
Okay.
It's like a heavy, almost Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Because like everyone in England had like more of a like a lot of like R's and like it was very.
It was heavy on the R's.
Yeah. So.
It's a theme through his movies. I mean, heavy on the R's and Nosferatu.
Oh my god, that's true.
But that was Transylvanian, Romanian. I don't know. No, there was another. It was
Dacian.
Dacian. That's what it was. Dacian.
Which is a language we don't know what it sounds like either. So
yeah, I can't remember if they said that was made up or not. But
Dacian, no.
Dacian, no, it's not.
No,
I can't remember if they said like his was like a mash of something, but I can't.
Oh, it was kind of a mash because we don't know exactly what it sounded like. So it was
right.
It was it's a dead language. So
they kind of went off of probably Romanian and stuff.
Yeah, things like that. Reconstructing it. Yeah,
which is a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
I when they showed the witch young, I had a note about showing the witch young because there's a moment because she's still in, like, you can see the kid in the light, but she's still in shadow next to her house. When she backs out, her like when she starts smiling and she's backing away for a second, like by her door, it's just the way they played with shadows in this. Her eyes just started looking unnatural, and her smile did too. Like the shadows just made it look creepy. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't.
But I was staring at her face so much because it just made her face look like it was changing.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was just the lighting. Yeah. It's not like they were like doing any special effects or anything. It's just the lighting made it look creepier.
That's cool.
I don't know. I just thought that was a really cool little detail. If he noticed that and kept it in because of just played with it a little bit.
They did cool things with the lighting occasionally. At the very end of the movie, when we'll get to it, but when she's walking into the woods, it looks like a skull. The trees look like a skull.
That's cool.
It was kind of cool.
I don't think I noticed that.
And I'm not sure whether it was even intentional, honestly, but it looked like it was pretty cool. Dinner scenes.
Always awkward dinner scenes.
I love awkward dinner scenes.
The awkward dinner scenes. I just forgot to make a note of that because I was watching it and I was like, they're gonna say something about this.
Which that particular dinner scene felt like dinner at my family. Just dead quiet.
Same outfits.
Same sour look on my mom's face.
And only lit by candlelight.
Yeah. Well, no, my mom wouldn't have candles in there because fire hazard.
Oh, fire and the devil?
Possibly that too. No, I truly, it was the same. Because she would talk about like Catholics as being, really showy and it was too much, like this and that, same kind of deal.
It's Catholicism. Catholicism is drag, like we said. It is a show, let's be honest.
And my mother is a dour German descendant.
Holy God.
That kind of stuff. No, as far away from drag as you can get.
Yeah. That's my thing is like, you're not going to build this insanely gothic cathedral and not put on a performance. What are we doing?
Exactly. I watched something with Maria Bamford talking about atheism.
Oh no.
And which I did get to see Maria Bamford the other night, and that was pretty cool.
Lucky.
She was funny.
Corn.
She's so funny. But she does in her voice. She's like, God won't give you anything you can't handle. She's like, but God does give people things they can't handle. They die sometimes.
It's not right. They're always like the you can't handle, and I love the posts that are like, but I'm not God's strongest soldier, so please stop giving me this shit.
Right. Or Trixie Mattel's like
if the Lord can lead you to it, He can lead you through it.
Exactly. Or what did she say? She's like, well, all I know is God's real, or I'm real and God's not. So or something. I can't remember.
I'm real.
Oh yeah, what does she? Yeah. What do you say about people who think that you're?
Oh yeah, that you're like of the devil. I don't know.
Yeah, something like
that. She's like,
well, I'm real. And God's not.
Like, what are we talking about?
This movie did not do anything for me in the department of liking children.
Oh my god.
Anya
Taylor-Joy, fine. The son, actually liked the son. The older son.
Yeah.
And I also thought he was a really good actor.
Yeah.
2 little kids I wanted to smack in the face.
So annoying.
And just throw into the woods to give to the witch.
Yes. That's why I was rooting for the witch. I was like, please take those 2 little kids.
Well, because it's
so annoying.
They're already dealing with the fact that the son is probably going to die.
Yeah.
And you have these 2 little assholes blaming their older sister for being a witch and acting all crazy like the Crucible. And I'm like, just throw him in the woods. Throw him in the woods. I don't know why this dad's believing them. He's annoying. Throw them in the woods. You guys think it's a wolf out there? Fine, throw them in the woods.
I did like when they tied them up to the fence, though.
Hilarious. When they're looking for the other 2 children and they have them literally tied to the goat pen.
It's so funny.
Or like leashes. Amazing.
That's so funny.
It's like, this is the only way we can keep tracking.
Yeah. I mean...
This is so funny. Also, please, in that scene, stop killing the dogs. Can we stop killing the dogs?
Oh, I know. This was another one.
So sad.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Fowler is a good name for the dog.
Yeah.
That was a cool name.
Yeah.
And in those scenes, because I was reading too that, they show a rabbit a lot.
Yeah.
And apparently back then, not that everything wasn't a witch, because everything could have been a witch.
Everything was evil then.
Everything was evil. But specifically, rabbits were either seen as magical creatures that could be sent to lure people, or they could be the witch themselves taking another form in order to lure people and stuff back then. So the fact that he used that in this as like a symbol was pretty cool.
Oh, no, totally.
And like it's the same rabbit. I mean, they try to shoot it, it misses. They keep trying to trap it, it never works. Like it's like, okay, so this is not a natural rabbit. Like which is like you didn't have to say it. You're just like showing it, and it's really cool.
Oh yeah, you could tell it was not a rabbit on a normal mission.
Yeah,
you could tell because it was just staring them down.
Oh yeah. Well, and I realized too because in that it said that rabbits would come and as like it was like a magical creature to mess with livestock and stuff. Oh. And it was after she sees the rabbit. Well, she sees the rabbit in the pen, the goat pen at some point, and then the goat isn't producing milk. She's squeezing blood out of it. So it's like the rabbit is messing with this goat. So it's like messing with the livestock.
Yeah.
So it's just like
witches do that.
Witches do that too. So it's like that old tale of like these creatures coming in and messing with the livestock. So it just like fit.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. Like just those subtle things that you keep in the movie from that time period. I mean, they said a lot of the dialogue actually came from old journals and stuff describing witchcraft back then and everything. Which now a lot of that is seen as like stereotypical witch shit because like it's not really how witches are. But,
I mean,
some of them could have been
through all of the witch trials and stuff. I doubt there were really any to many witches that actually were there.
No, it was just paranoia.
It was I doubt there was any women that like practiced too much folk magic or anything because it was
I mean the whole message behind the Crucible and all that is just like stubbornness, arrogance, religious persecution, and sexism, misogyny. Like it was just paranoia. Yeah. None of it was like actually real, and even if they were like, fuck here, it's still paranoia.
It's paranormal. Oh my god. Anyway, so it truly shows. I'm going on a tangent now.
That's fine.
It truly shows Christianity's disdain for nature in general.
Yeah.
Nature is something to be conquered and controlled.
They don't like the natural order.
And women, are a bit more in tune with nature due to, the moon and cycles and things like
moon,
that. Which like puts them in that category of chaotic natural things.
Yeah.
Which is why women were very,
well, it's because
they were afraid of women,
It's like men,
so they have to control them.
It's like men back then, and even a lot of men now. They're just afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah,
and there's a joke forever like we just don't get women. It's like you don't. It's like so you're afraid of something because you don't understand it.
Yeah,
and you're afraid of nature because you don't control it.
Exactly,
and you don't understand it.
Yeah,
and you can't control it.
I mean, beyond that though. beyond that, when you talk about like ancient pagan societies, that venerated nature, and then you go to a religion that has only one God who is removed from you.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the intellect, the mind of the humans becomes utmost, and the natural world is other.
Yeah.
And something to be afraid of. It's where the devil is.
Yeah.
It's, the devil is animal. You know, he's part goat, he's part, And he has boobs.
Well, and it's not even, like, I said men, but it's really white men. Let's be fair. Because, I mean, they show Native Americans for, like, a second in this movie. Like, coming to trade in this town. Because, I mean, it's not what the movie's about, but, like... that would be happening back then, probably. Exactly, yeah. But that's another thing that white men went after was Native Americans, because they are in tune with nature. Yeah. All their gods have to do with nature. Yeah. Their ceremonies have to do with nature, and they're not white Christians, so they're scary because they believe in something else and because we don't understand them.
That's just, to me, that's the divide between monotheistic religions and polytheistic religions.
I just think...
Because monotheistic religions value human intellect above all things. Yeah. And that is separated from nature and the world around you.
Yeah. I think polytheistic religions, especially ones that have to do with nature, just make more sense. Yeah. It's like, the ground gave us corn and food, so we worship a Mother Earth or the God of Earth. Sky brings us rain. It just makes sense.
It makes sense.
I mean, even in other groups of gods, like the Greeks or the Romans, it's like it just made sense that you had multiple gods who were different things, and then families actually picked a god that they worship more based on what they do. I have one
on my little altar right here. I have Hecate on my little altar right here. Yeah.
But like some people might worship Hecate, or some people might worship Zeus more, depending on what they're doing in their life. Like, it just made more sense than just like, oh, it's just one person and he only believes this, and it's just based off your intellect, and if you don't understand it, then it's obviously a sin.
And you know, even especially Greek society had gods that were about like emotions and intellect, you know, and things like that. But they also had gods natural aspects of everything,
and everything. Yeah. So. it just makes more sense.
Yeah. Anyway,
a tangent.
I will get off of my soapbox. Where were we? I was rooting for the witch. When the son was sick, you know, they started bleeding him immediately, of course.
Oh, immediately.
You got to do that.
Immediate
bloodletting. He had too much blood. That was a Nosferatu, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The bloodletting.
It's the bloodletting. It's too much blood.
She has too much blood. That's why she's sick. And it's like, logically, you think about it, you're sitting there thinking, like, okay, well, like, maybe somebody's disease, maybe they thought, like, oh, it's not just, like, too much blood, but maybe if they start draining some of the blood and then her body makes new, then it would, like, refresh whatever.
I could see them thinking that it was, like, the disease was in the blood, which would make sense, but, like,
especially for a vampire movie.
Exactly, but that's not even what it was. No. It was about humors, and you had too much blood. You were sanguine. I know. You had too much blood. It's insane.
It's like,
whenever you were bilious, you had too much bile.
It's so stupid. VVitch or something, it's just, you have too much blood. We just need to let it out a little.
It's like I don't know. It's just like the logic on that.
I mean, did it just take George Washington dying from it to?
And yet there were like Chinese people at this time using real medicine,
like herbal medicines and shit
at this time period.
Yeah, but those are of nature.
Europeans.
Yeah. Those are of nature we don't understand.
That's true. That's true.
Because I'm pretty sure Native Americans weren't bloodletting each other either.
No.
I'm pretty sure they were using herbs and natural medicine.
It's amazing.
Oh my God. We love a colonizer.
Jesus. Speaking of, she was like, I want to go back to England. And I'm like, yeah, go back.
Go back to England. Get out of here.
Honestly, if I was there in that time period, I'd be like, I want to go the fuck back to England too. It's probably dirty and horrible, but like there's just, we're in this land where it's completely like,
we're alone next to a huge forest our kids keep disappearing. Can we just leave? Can we just go?
Next to a population of people that were infringing on and want us the fuck out.
That banished us.
Oh no, I was talking about like the native people.
Oh, the Native American people, yeah.
Like infringing on these people's land, and they are obviously pissed about it.
Maybe we should just go home.
Maybe we should just go.
Yeah. Well, and I think in any other case of this, because like it wasn't what the movie was about, so it didn't really need it. But like I just feel like at some point living out there like that, I mean, Native Americans probably would have come across them at some point.
That's true,
right?
I feel like this was in the time period when they were still trading and
I'm also wondering back then,
not killing all of them purposefully. I don't know.
Well, I'm wondering back then too how they probably never even thought about it, but how a situation like this, how Native Americans would have felt in a situation like this when it comes to a witch or the possibility of a witch, or if they even had any second thought on that at all, or if they even cared, because they might not have even cared or thought about it.
You know, I'm no authority on this whatsoever.
I'm not either. It's just a curiosity thing to know what that culture felt about it.
They're like, I believe there are areas in land that you just don't go into in native culture in general.
Yeah.
So and there's reasons for that.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be that could just be their thing is they don't go there because we just don't go to that part of the land because of this.
Yeah. But then again, all the witches were white people.
That's what I'm saying. It's
so
I'm like, they're obviously like English people that came over and just started doing witchcraft and everything else.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there were any like quote unquote witches in Native American culture.
I don't know. I mean,
or their own versions.
I don't know honestly.
But I'm not an authority on that. But
if you know,
if you know,
let us know in the comments because I am not an authority on Native American culture.
Or if you know how like older Native American tribes would have thought about a witch in the woods, especially because it is a very English concept.
It is. It's a very not Western. Well, European concept. Sorry, I'm like Western would be here too.
Eastern,
it's a very it's a concept certainly from the Christian world of witches.
Right.
I don't even know if there are witches in like Muslim culture or. That's another
just like
monotheistic
certain like demons and stuff like jinn and things like that, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's jinn and things like that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, but like so that was just my curiosity, just because they would have been around back then. So I don't know if like they ever interacted with something similar, or if like
yeah.
I mean, I know they try to probably stay away from white people as much as possible. Understandable.
At this point in the movie, they just go fucking crazy. Like, I don't know if there's carbon monoxide poisoning or what, but they're all going crazy. We
accidentally built our house on a natural gas.
It's possible. I was watching that early 2000s paranormal show, Paranormal State. Yeah, and one of them they went to this people's house, and they like all of this shit was going on. And it turned out they had like a extremely high carbon monoxide content in their air in their house.
Yeah, so they're just like seeing shit.
So they were just seeing shit.
Hearing things, seeing things,
they were having hallucinations, like all of it, and then like they were getting like horribly sick and nauseous and things like that, and like it was just because of that.
So we realized you're actually being poisoned.
It like almost made me respect that show a little bit because I'm like, because
they found an actual source.
They found an actual logical source for it. I'm like, okay,
that's insane. That show is so ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous, and the host was closeted during this because he was super Catholic, and then like he's out now, but
and doing better. I think
doing better. But he was addicted to like
it was like closeted,
it was like
addicted
heroin
to drugs,
and meth and like all this stuff, and like he went to jail for fraud because he was like selling tickets to his readings and things, and then not refunding, and like it was it's crazy.
But then he came out, stopped doing drugs, and got better.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the reason he was doing a lot of those drugs is because he was closeted and didn't know how to handle it because of the religious aspect.
For sure. But then all of the psychics they had on that show were so gay.
Oh my god!
It was like Chip Coffey.
Chip Coffey is so gay.
I don't know if he actually.
I love him though. He's hilarious. He's amazing, and I know that like. The psychics they have on there are like Lorraine Warren.
Oh yeah, she's
or
she's not. But
no, Full lesbian. I'm just kidding.
Full lesbian. I love Lorraine Warren on that so much.
Lorraine Warren and Chip Coffey. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, articles have come out about them about like, oh, could they have been charlatans and like, you know, stealing money from people.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the case. I just think more so that like, even if they weren't really psychic, you can tell that these two people, whether they are dramatic about it or not, just wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And make people feel better about what was going on with them, whether it be paranormal or not.
Yeah. And I just love Lorraine Warren walking in and she's like, oh, honey, there's something evil here, honey. Oh, honey. Like, she just kept... I was like, wow, I really love Lorraine Warren.
She's just like this sweet old woman. And I think she passed away not too long ago, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I think Chip Coffey's still alive. So.
He is. I follow his Instagram. He just said like happy birthday to one of the people that was on the show.
To me, it's like even if whether you're psychic or not, a medium or not, as long as you're not doing it to scam people and your intention is that even if you are getting paid, your intention is that you want to help people.
Yeah.
That's still good.
Yeah, I think so. We
love a bitch named Tangent. Sorry.
we really do. I have to mention that my favorite visual from this was a raven eating her titty.
Oh my god! Where she's like hallucinating that her son's alive and her baby,
and she's breastfeeding,
the baby, but it's actually a huge raven just pecking at her nipple. And she's sitting there laughing as it's just pecking at her nipple. That was
beautiful. That was a great...
In front of the fireplace.
That was my favorite visual of the whole...
You got
it was so gruesome, but
the raven, like so cool. Which is like a symbol of like death and Christianity.
Yeah.
You have her laughing, hallucinating, and you have the flames behind her from the fireplace. Yeah. It's like we're just going straight to hell.
Yeah, that was perfect.
That was a really good visual though. Like there's just the setup on a lot of his setups, like the way he frames a shot. I mean, a lot of those could have just been fucking paintings.
Yeah.
The way he frames shots.
It's true.
Even in Nosferatu, just the way he frames things is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because it goes so well with the coloring and how dark he makes everything.
That's true.
And he does center things sometimes, but he will set up things to be like that rule of thirds, like off center. And it just looks really good the way he films stuff.
It's like that less it's like a less campy Tim Burton sort of aesthetic.
He's got that aesthetic, but it's darker, more gothic, and a little more serious than Tim Burton's like dark gothic comedy.
Campy comedy.
Well, because even though Sleepy Hollow is serious, it's still a little campy because of the way he does it, but it still has Eggers like lighting, and like coloring. Actually. Yeah, that's the list. He could probably do a really good version of Sleepy Hollow, to be quite honest.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Tim Burton's was amazing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Love that movie so much, which I wouldn't mind doing that for this. but I think Robert Eggers would kill doing Sleepy Hollow.
That's true. Honestly, I don't want to see any Tim Burton movies remade, though.
No.
Because they're... I mean,
as long as he was basing it off the original story.
Most of them are really perfect.
Yeah, most of them. As long as he was basing it off the original, like, Washington Irving Sleepy Hollow story and not based off of Tim Burton's movie, I think it would be fine. Yeah. But, don't remake Tim Burton's movies. What are we doing? No. If I ever saw a remake of, like, Mars Attacks, smack somebody in the face. That movie is genius.
To quote Maria Bamford again, she was like, some people just love life, but, I'm kind of on the whole thing. What I really want is a sharp blow to the head that I did not see coming.
My God.
And I did not see that goat coming.
Oh, when he attacks the dad?
Yeah, I did not see that coming. It just totally
just happens.
Sidelined me.
He's just walking up to her after the goat pen's like fucked up, the goats are dead.
Yeah.
And she's the only one left after the two kids get taken. And then it's just like blindside goat horn right through the dad's stomach.
It was like the only jump scare. It was just like, whoa, I was not expecting that.
Black Phillip incoming.
The other moral of this movie, I think, is you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when your mother thinks you're a witch and she's trying to strangle you, you have to just...
You just have to kill her.
Just a butcher knife to the head over and over again.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, she's trying to strangle you to death. I know it's your mom, but like...
But I mean, she went crazy.
And also on the verge of, on the subject of having to do what you have to do, it's like at that point, she's literally alone. What is she going to do? Live there and survive on her own? Right? No. So when Black Phillip's like, what's thou like to live deliciously? It's like, yeah, you're going to say yes to that shit. He's going to take care of you.
I mean, I would have said yes to that.
At the beginning.
But, I mean, if a goat asks me if I would like to live deliciously,
the witch would need to seduce me.
I'm gonna say
like,
yes.
It's like being a homosexual myself. The witch wouldn't need to seduce me. If she came out of the house like that, I'd be like, bitch, fire, get me in this. Like,
you have to get me in this. You look gorgeous.
You look amazing.
Like all these people are covered in dirt, and you look amazing.
You look amazing. Can you put in a good word for me? Like, how did you do this?
Right.
Do I get to have my own house in the woods that looks like this?
I know, right?
Can I be stylist. Young forever?
I know.
By just bathing myself in babies.
Right? I mean, there's too many babies anyway. Come on.
Back then, overpopulation.
But she goes into the woods and she joins the other witches that are having a Black Sabbath around the fire.
I love it
with Black Phillip.
Black Phillip. I loved that they started
great,
floating up in the air too and everything. I just loved it. It was great. And
do you know the origin of witches flying?
No.
Especially on broomsticks.
I always thought it was interesting that it was broomsticks. I thought it was a whole like because women clean thing and it was a misogynistic thing.
It is partly that, but it is also that it was thought that some witches did hallucinogens. Like hallucinogenic drugs. Oh. And the way they got them into them was through the vaginal area.
Nice.
With a broomstick.
Why specifically a broomstick?
I don't know. That to me seems like hyperbole. That seems like it's something made up by men to be like.
Of course. Most of that shit's made up by
men. But did like witches did actual witches at the time probably do hallucinogens? Yeah, probably. They probably did drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't have actual drugs, mushrooms?
Like most like ancient cultures used hallucinogens religiously.
Opium. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
You know.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca, that's like a religious experience.
Because even like Native Americans use
South American.
Native Americans would smoke peyote and stuff.
All that kind of stuff.
And those weren't like, it was more like revelations than it was like religious.
Yeah, it's like religious, but it was and that
tribal.
It was spiritual.
It was custom. Like,
yeah.
They always make the joke about the peace pipe, whatever. Like that's the stereotypical whatever. But like But like a lot of cultures use that stuff, and it was because they believed that it made you more in connection with whatever was around you and everything. And
I'm going to not incriminate myself, but say yes. Those type of drugs
sometimes can
do that for you.
See, I mean, it's not really incrimination if I say I've done weed now, whatever.
It really is not. No.
But I've never done things like, mushrooms or acid or LSD or any of that stuff or MDMA.
I'm like,
or MDMA.
I haven't done that.
The ones you will never see me ever talk about doing ever are heroin and cocaine, things like that. But I've always
one of them.
Yeah. Oh my god. I've always been curious about psychedelic kind of stuff, and
I mean,
I get scared because I'm an insane lightweight. For those who don't know, I'm an insane lightweight to everything. I have a 10 milligram gummy of just THC, and it knocks me on my ass so hard that I feel like I'm dying.
Oh, that gives me a full-on panic attack.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I have taken a 10 milligram THC gummy, gotten a knock on my door, forgetting that I ordered Taco Bell from Postmates, and it just showed up.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those people who takes even just one shot and I'm gone. It's very just lightweight. So bad.
Unfortunately, I can drink an enormous amount of alcohol and feel nothing, but that's why I'm sober now.
Yes. Also, sober for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I say that for anybody else who's struggling with that, you can do it.
Yeah,
it can be done.
Yeah.
And you have people you can talk to.
Yes. We should put something in the description. Put a number in the description. Okay. Just not AA or anything, because it's all very religious-y and gaudy. But if you like it, if it works for you, that's great.
That's great. But yeah, I've always been kind of curious about that stuff, so it's interesting that they think, like, you know, because that's another thing. It's like a lot of that stuff comes from natural ingredients, like mushrooms and stuff. So of course it's nature. So of course they must be doing it, and we don't understand it. So it's scary.
Yeah. RuPaul actually credits a lot of his understanding of the world from psychedelic drugs.
Amazing.
So.
Well, and there's people who haven't done it that do other things that feel like David Lynch, transcendental meditation every day of his life.
Yeah, some people don't need them.
Yeah, some people are already on that level, and he was on that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's actually interesting. I didn't know that it was like broomstick with psychedelics right in the vagina.
Yeah, that is the I don't know, the folk understanding of that. Whether there is complete truth to that or not, I don't know. But yeah, that's where we get the idea of witches on broomsticks.
Honestly, though, pop off, queen.
Yeah, I mean, if you are doing that, hey, you know,
if you're still doing it today,
sounds like a good time.
If that's how you're doing it today, you know, more power to you.
Yeah. Just don't get any splinters.
Yeah, please. Plastic brooms.
See, that's what scares me. I'm like, anyway. So, I'm going to go live deliciously, and I think you all should do that, too.
I'm going to go tend to my goats.
I need to go tend to my goats. I'm going to give this movie, let me think. You go first, because I need to think.
I'm going to give, you know, I have to think about it, too, just like the rating system here.
I'm gonna go with 4 devil apples that come from a mouth.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because evidently that's what happens when you get cursed by a witch.
Probably 4 ravens pecking at titties.
Yeah, I would give it that. Yeah, and it's like it wasn't like my favorite. Like, it's not my favorite movie, but at the same time, like,
it was very well made. It's very good.
It's well made.
Yeah,
and the visuals, and it's just I like it.
Like,
it's very my vibe.
Because a lot of people think it like that stuff is dark, somber, and whatever, and it is.
Yeah.
But to me, when I see that, I think it's so beautiful.
Well, it's beautiful, and like that color scheme is comforting to me too.
It's
so
nice.
Funny.
But you have no idea how much I've just like. Well, one, I want to go out and take pictures, but you have no idea how much I just want to go stand. Like when I meditate, or when I would meditate, sometimes it's like when they're like comfort place. It's literally me standing in a forest full of trees with the wind blowing super hard through the trees because it's so comfortable to me.
That's what I picture anytime.
Overcast trees, wind blowing through everything because like I can just hear the white noise sound and everything, and it's just so comfortable.
I had a therapist that did EMDR, and you have to kind of like picture like the perfect place, and that was pretty much what I pictured in my head, which is funny.
Which we have it here. We go to Flagstaff so I can take pictures and we can just go stand in the forest.
Let's make a plan.
Yeah.
We need to do that. Okay.
We're going to find where they filmed The Witch.
we need to do that. Until, next time, I would love you all to live deliciously and watch The Witch, because, it may prepare you for the new Puritan USA.
Right.
That may happen. So
that, and we'd say a couple of necessary watchings would be The Witch, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I would say read The Handmaid's Tale.
Or read The Handmaid's Tale.
The book is wonderful. It's one of my favorite books. I haven't seen the show yet because I don't know, the book's good enough. The book's dark enough.
But we will say in that light, stay safe out there in this version of America that is going on right now. But like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, ask us questions. We love to answer questions. We need more questions. Please send us questions.
Send me anything.
It literally doesn't. I mean, it could be about horror movies. It could be about horror movies. It could be about anything else. It could be about us. Like, ask us stuff. We need things to talk about before we get into a movie. Advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like a qualified psychologist.
I'm not an air quote qualified psychologist.
I'm not a air quotes therapist.
Yeah, until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye. Woo.